Chicago and the Philippines. A comprehensive review of the week's special community events, featuring many exciting personalities, handled by the most professional Chicago Philippine Reports TV staff.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Chicago Philippine Reports TV, still the #1 Filipino show in the Midwest. I'm Girly Pascual. Welcome to our show. Today we have all the top stories from the Philippines. We also have what's happening in our own Filipino-American community of Chicago. We have interesting interviews led by our very own executive producer, Miss Veronica Layton. We have Bridget Cotero Carino. All these are coming up and more. Afterward from our sponsors, please stay with us.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
The hearing is resumed.
The House of Representatives should respect the impeachment court. According to the court's presiding officer, Senate President Francis Cheese Escudero. Escudero was responding to the remark of House Speaker Martin Romualdez on Wednesday night that the return of the articles of impeachment against Vice President Sara Duterte to the House was deeply concerning.
Yan ang pasa ng impeachment court bilang mga taga-usig. Dapat nilang galangin at sundin yun. Hindi tulad ng Kamara na panayang pintas sa Senado, hindi ko galing pintasan ang kanilang ginagawa. May trabaho silang dapat gampanan ayon sa tingin nila kung anong tama. At gagalangin namin yon tulad ng kahilingan at panawagan kong paggalang din.
Vice President Sara Duterte, according to Escudero, should likewise respect and follow the summons served to her. The impeachment court issued 2 orders as it returned the articles of impeachment. First was for the House to submit an attestation that it has complied with all the requirements of the Constitution in initiating the complaint, particularly the 1-year ban rule. And second, a resolution approved by the 20th Congress of the House ratifying the acts of the 19th Congress and affirming its determination to pursue and prosecute the impeachment complaint. Although the House adopted a resolution certifying compliance for the first order Wednesday night, Escudero said they have not yet received a copy. He is also awaiting formal communication regarding the House's decision to defer acceptance of the articles of impeachment as it seeks clarification.
Korte lamang ang pwede makapagsabi kung anong epekto nun at hindi ako bilang tagapangulo at presiding officer. Pangalawa, ang balita pa lamang naman yan sa media at wala pa kaming formal na natatanggap.
Wini-welcome naman natin yung development na yon, but at the same time we are also going to wait for the motion for clarification para lalong ma-explain sa House of Representatives at saka sa prosecutors kung ano ba yung hinihingi ng korte mula sa kanilang bilang litigants.
Senator Rhys Ontiveros says the impeachment court's action caused unnecessary delay.
Humingi na lang sana ng clarification ang Senate Impeachment Trial Court sa House prosecutors halimbawa na ang dali-dali sana nilang isagot sa amin.
Escudero maintains the timeline remains the same, with the trial possibly happening in July, a schedule he has announced since February.
Pag kinumpute at inad mo yun, June 13 na kulang-kulang at tapos na ang termino ng Kamara. Wala nang authority ang mga prosecutors at hindi naman kami pwede maglitis ng isang panig lang. Ang pinakamagagawa lamang ng impeachment court sa pagtatapos ng 19th Congress ay mag-issue ng summons na ginawa namin.
For a constitutional expert, there's no need for the House prosecutors to file a motion for clarification. Attorney Rene Sarmiento says the House panel should just immediately answer the issues raised by the impeachment court so it can proceed with the Vice President's trial.
If I'm one of the representatives, one of the congressmen, looking at the motion to remand, para sa akin po, napakalinaw po eh. May violation ba ng 1-year ban to initiate a complaint? Number 2, ito ba itatawid sa 20th Congress? I think these are issues that can be clarified very swiftly by the House members. No need to clarify. Sagutin na kaagad po para bumalik na sa Senado at maumpisahan ang paglilitis. The guiding star that should guide all senators in this case and all parties involved in this case is the common good what is the common good? So the common good is forthwith proceed. After all these issues, motions, etc., I think no need to delay.
Former Senate President and now Senator-elect Tito Soto also questioned the return of the impeachment complaint.
May infirmity sa ginawa. Dapat noon pinisent yung mga articles, pinag-usapan nila. Kaya siyempre pagbibintangan ka ngayon dyan, you are either counseling for the prosecution or the defense.
Soto has expressed interest in running for the Senate presidency. His message to his fellow senators:
Those mga hindi sumusunod sa mga rules at sa parliamentary procedures ng Senado ngayon, mahiya naman kayo.
For Escudero, the impeachment court is sui generis, and only the Supreme Court can rule on constitutionality.
Sui generis means it's a class of its own. Pwedeng gawin ng impeachment court, anumang ninanais gawin ito ayon sa botohan. At kung may hindi man sumasang-ayon, malaya silang pwedeng iakyat sa Korte Suprema yan.
Escudero also insisted the motion to return the articles of impeachment was not planned, as alleged by Ontiveros.
Various groups from different sectors held an indignation protest at the People Power Monument on Thursday, Independence Day. They slammed the 19th Congress for failing to pass the proposed wage hike bill before its session ended. They also condemned the Senate's move to return the impeachment articles against Vice President Sara Duterte to the House of Representatives. For them, it was a double kill.
Pinatay na nga yung sa dagdag sahod, pinatay pa pati yung sa usapin ng impeachment.
Brosas said senators who pushed to dismiss the case, like Bato de la Rosa, Amy Marcos, and Robin Padilla, should inhibit themselves from the trial.
Yung mga nakita po na natin, nakitaan na natin ng bias, dapat po talaga mag-inhibit. Mahiya naman sila sa sambayan ng Pilipino.
For Bayan President Renato Reyes, they will not stop protesting on the streets and will continue to hold those in power accountable.
Kung ginagawa nilang inutil ang impeachment court, merong paglilitis na magaganap sa labas, sa kalsada, sa iba't ibang komunidad dahil gusto ng tao na malaman yung katotohanan dito sa pagwawaldas ng confidential funds at korupsyon ng Office of the Vice President.
He said this will be one of the key issues they will raise leading up to the President's State of the Nation address on July 28. Labor groups also blamed President Marcos, saying the failure to pass a 200 peso wage hike bill was deliberate.
Simple lang ang mensahe, ayaw nila sa dagdag sahod. Wala siyang pakialam, ang pinapaboran niya ay kumita lang na malaki ang malalaking negosyante.
They vowed to keep pushing for the wage hike and will refile a bill in the 20th Congress seeking a 1,200 peso across-the-board increase for all private sector workers nationwide. In a statement released by the Trade Union Congress of the Philippines, the group said they mourn and grieve with every Filipino worker this Independence Day after the wage hike bill fell through. The group added the administration missed a chance to make history as a legislated wage hike could have been the last hope to uplift millions of overworked and underpaid workers.
Yan! Dito na! Perfect!
Do you need to get your hands on some extra money right now? Maybe $25,000 or more? If you're a homeowner, now is a perfect time to get cash out. While homes in many neighborhoods like yours have gone up in value, you can use the money for anything. It's yours. You can buy an investment property, pay for college, pay off higher interest debt, or make home improvements. A cash out refinance is the perfect solution to get the cash you need. If you need $25,000, $50,000, or even $100,000, now's the time. Home values are up, and so is your equity. We offer you a way to use it. No need to sell your home or use your savings. Call New American Funding now and speak to a cash out refi specialist and see how much cash out you can get.
Call New American Funding at 855-332-3929. That's 855-332-3929. Call 855-332-3929.
Via Times, vital news, vibrant views for the Filipino Asian communities in Chicago. Via Times for your most interesting and exciting reading and your party coverages. Via Times has very interesting columnists. You name it, Via Times has it. Law, Filipino news, dentistry, immigration, humor, serious opinions, health, beauty, mysticism, Bata Corner, showbiz, and intelligently written editorials. Call Via Times at 773-866-0811.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very exciting and interesting guest for today, and he's I'm telling you, I consider him such a heavyweight with the topic that we're going to be talking about. And he is actually his name is Dr. William Porstian. Did I say your name right?
Absolutely on target.
Okay, all right. And he is a renowned military historian and a renowned expert in EMP technology. Many of you, I'm sure, don't know what it stands for. It's electromagnetic pulse.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, electromagnetic pulse. Okay. And he's the author of 1 Second After book. And Dr. Persian is here with us to talk about EMP and some other interesting matters connected with it. Welcome to our show. Welcome to our show, Dr. Persian.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you today.
Okay. All right. So I know that the EMP, many of us really don't know about it. And me particularly don't know anything about EMP. Can you please tell our viewing audience about the electromagnetic pulse?
Okay, short background on it. EMP stands for electromagnetic pulse. It's created if you loft a small atomic warhead about 200 miles out in space, detonate the weapon, and it sets up an electrostatic discharge called the Compton effect, which cascades down to the Earth's surface. When it hits the Earth's surface, speed of light, that pulse feeds into our electrical wiring, particularly the high tension lines, which proceeds to short out the system. The high tension lines, some of them would actually melt, feeds into the generating stations. It shuts the grid down. So quite literally, in 1 or 2 seconds, a fair part of the United States would lose its electricity. If 3 such weapons were put up over eastern, central, and western United States, it would short our grid out. We would lose it. According to a DOE study, after such an attack, 5 years later, 80% of our electrical generating systems would still be offline. It's a catastrophic event.
Very interesting. But how were you able to come or develop or know or write something about this EMP?
Well, it was a lot of research. I mean, I first became interested when I was in graduate school at Purdue University. My major is history, but also the history of technology. So I was aware of it then. About 15 years later, a lot of research, congressional studies, DOE reports, and such. I wrote my book. Now, the book is a novel. It follows what happens in a small town in North Carolina, my hometown. What it would be like in that town for a year after such an event. Thus the title, 1 Second After. It's a grim scenario because we would lose our water distribution, food, medicine. We would just lose the entire system and it would start to crash. The results would be catastrophic.
Is this something like that can be connected to AI technology or something really different?
AI has a little to do with it. This effect was first realized in 1962, 60 years ago, when America put a thermonuclear device into space, 200 miles up, and when they blew it, the power grid in Hawaii started to short offline. Russians did it later that year. It was called Soviet Test 184. Same thing. It blew out an electrical generating system 500 miles away from where it was detonated. So it's not an issue of AI. It's simply having an ICBM, which North Korea has, lofted over the United States, fired the weapon, asymmetrical first strike, we call it. The game is over.
Is it really actually, well, in case our country gets attacked by the enemies, but what would it do to defend us?
There's no defense at the moment. That's why I am such a strong proponent of what's called Golden Dome. It's like the Israeli system, Iron Dome, but on steroids. The Israeli system knocks down short-range missiles. When Iran attacked Israel about 6 months ago, it fired 300 missiles at Israel. All but three were knocked down. Golden Dome is designed to be a strategic defense, knocking down an ICBM before it gets anywhere near the United States. My main concern here is North Korea, which has nuclear weapons and ICBMs, and my other concern is Iran. If Iran ever got control of nuclear weapons, that would be a very scary scenario.
We've heard quite a few times listening to President Trump talk about the Golden Dome.
Yes.
The Golden Dome missile defense system. How is it connected to what you're doing?
Oh, it's absolutely connected. Golden Dome is strategic defense. The first layer would be some anti-missiles, what are called ABMs, along the coast of Alaska, maybe as far down as Washington. That would shoot down enemy ICBMs before they got anywhere near the United States. Once over the United States, all bets are pretty well off. We have to hit these things before they get near us rather than after they're already above us and ready to detonate. So Golden Dome is an essential part of what would be a defense system against EMP or just general attack. It's very, very important to build this.
How is it really necessary in our lives to know more about it?
Well, I have an analogy for it. It would be like you own a home and one day you decide, nah, I don't need insurance anymore. So you ditch it. The mortgage company is going to be after you fairly quickly. What are you, crazy? Not having insurance on your home? We all do that. Golden Dome is an insurance policy to protect the United States. In a way, the same thing. It protects us before a disaster strikes, not afterwards. That'd be like buying insurance the day after your house burns. We can't do that. You have to do it before. So Golden Dome is designed to protect us before it reaches the United States.
So it is still connected with electricity, right?
Absolutely. Well, the missiles once launched are not, but hey, electricity is the basic fundamental building block of a modern technological society. When you got up this morning, you turned the faucet, the water came on because there's pumping stations pumping water to us. You open the fridge, the food is there. That's because the average town, not a major city, but an average town has about 15 to 20 days worth of food on hand. Once that food's gone, once the water doesn't work, don't even want to talk about what happens in nursing homes. All of these things cascade. And the scary statistic is upwards of 80% of all Americans would be dead a year afterwards if electricity was totally shut down and doesn't come back.
All right. Okay. One last word
Sure.
to our viewing audience about the importance and necessity for this what you do, the EMP and the Golden Dome.
Well, to our audience, let's talk first about if you become a little bit more politically active, you're not even talking about calling up Congress, but your local representatives. Here in North Carolina, that's starting to happen. South Carolina, good political movement to harden, to improve the electrical grid. Right now, our electrical grid is antiquated. According to DOE, a lot of it was built in the 70s and 80s. We're pumping electricity in an antiquated system. We need to upgrade to a 21st century electrical distribution system. That has to be done. Second, every family should be prepared for some kind of disaster. Having a month's worth of food on hand and supplies could make the crucial difference. It doesn't take much to do it, but people should be aware and people should be prepared in case not only an EMP, but major storms and other things. Even a drone attack on our electrical system could have catastrophic effects, say for the Chicago area. Not going to have 3 or 4 key substations. Chicago goes dark for days. Not a pleasant scenario.
Sounds great. Well, it sounds great and sounds very good, and still, it is a big puzzle for many of for
Yes.
someone like me, and who has no, I mean, scientific scientific mind. So it was really a great pleasure talking to you and enlightening us about EMP, electromagnetic pulse. Remember that, viewing audience, the electromagnetic pulse, and also the one that we've been hearing in the news, the Golden Dome missile defense system.
Mm-hmm.
That's something.
Yes, it's going to cost. The initial budget for Golden Dome is $25 billion. But when you look at the total national allocations, we're spending money on some pretty dumb things. Putting some money into Golden Dome is a good bet.
Wow, great. Terrific, Dr. Portion. And I really appreciate you gracing our show today. And one last word for our viewing audience before we
Be
start.
politically aware, be aware of the news, and above all else, be prepared. Simple preparations can make a big difference in your life if something happens. So be prepared.
Great, terrific. I thank you for gracing our show today, Dr. F.
Okay, that's a lot easier. That's
Dr.
what
F.
that's what my students call me, Dr. F.
I'd like to call you that way. Maraming salamat. Thank you very much in our language for gracing our show today. And and to my viewing audience, maraming salamat po sa inyong panonood at enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye now.
Goodbye and God
Dr.
bless you.
F.
Okay, God bless you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer the question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
Yeah. You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents. This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
It's more fun in the Philippines.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat and welcome to Veronica's segment of the show. Today, I have a very interesting and very popular, respected and renowned individual in our community. This woman is really very interesting, and she has been doing a lot of work in humanitarian contributions through medical mission. Her name is Miss Nora Chai. Do you know her? It's very
Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon, Vero.
Hi, Nora. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for this.
You have been around the community, the Filipino-American community of Chicago, and you are really doing a wonderful work out there serving the community.
Thank you.
And that work is as a medical missionary. Ms. Nora has been doing medical missionary work through the years. And let's hear from her because she's on her way to retirement, she's saying, and through all this work. Hi, Nora. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Cprtv. Thank you for giving me this privilege to be interviewed about our project in the Philippines.
Yes,
thank you.
I'm very thankful that you are gracing our show today. Nora, okay, can you please share with us some of the exciting and interesting experiences that you've done through medical mission?
Well, actually, this dream of being able to help marginalized kababayans started when after graduation, I worked at the USC Charity Hospital in the pediatric section of the hospital. And I saw the poverty and the need of the people because they didn't have money to cover the expenses in the hospital. And I promised that if I will be lucky in the future to have the kind of funding, I'll be able to help them. And that's how it began. My commitment with the Philippine Medical Association of Chicago started in 2005. So that would be 25 years. So I've been joining their mission through the years. And then, of course, I adapted other projects and we did outreach projects with my family members on a smaller scale. And it just, I guess, got bigger, better, and the more fulfilling for the family. So, and the last one was actually after we had an accident in 2018, and I did promise because we were survivors that I would do payatas, which was in my bucket list, anyways, and Baseco. So I was able to do that. Baseco was this year in February 16, 2025. And I think promises that I gave out to friends that I would do the mission, it has been fulfilled. And I think that's going to be my last one because I'm already going to be 80 this year.
Well, yes, because you've been doing it through the years and maybe you are really getting sick. I mean, really tired of doing this.
Oh, it's time for me to attend to our personal stuff, at home and even start downsizing, I guess, and start moving and make life simple.
So professional, you are a nurse.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that.
You'll
The
be
bachelor's
working
degree.
as a nurse. And that's why you are doing a medical mission in your.
Oh, yes, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, I have a bachelor's degree from University of Santo Tomas. And I did work throughout in the ICU, CCU area of, in nursing. That's what I primarily did with my profession. Anyways, but then I sort of just joined the registry when I married Fred, so I was just registry or part-time through the years, maybe like working 2 days a week or once a week just to keep my license in order.
All right. And so out of your retirement was when you thought of doing this philanthropic work actually. And and this is just for the Philippines or what? Have you done other countries for your medical missions?
Not really. I was going to join the Bolivia group, but for some reason it did not happen. But my heart also was if I have to go to another country, I would rather go to the Philippines and touch different areas in the Philippines because we really, really need help. I mean, the people do need help as far as medical, surgical, even dental, even as simple as circumcision. There's just so much that the Filipino people can benefit from doing the mission in our country.
I think you're still young to retire from what you're doing.
Veronica, I'm gonna be 80 this year.
You're still young. Look at you. You still look so pretty.
We will still continue to contribute, participate, but nothing big anymore because this last one was actually our medical, dental, and surgical mission, and it was really, you know, it was successful and it was really big. And but I was lucky because we had a lot of good, dynamic donors and volunteers. So I couldn't have done it without them anyway. So it was really very fulfilling and a good experience, a very good experience for the family members who joined us, which is our children and grandchildren.
Yeah, you also
So
invite your children and in-laws, right?
yes, yes, yes. Even our 4 years old was distributing goods, and she was just became a different person. She's usually throw a temper tantrum, but in the mission, none of that. She was going around distributing goodies, snacks, loaf of bread. She was just simply happy doing it. And she asked me if I'm gonna do the mission again. Not not that she knows what mission really means, but she did ask me if we can do it again.
That's
So
very nice. A very good example to show your children and grandchildren how to help other people. And
yeah, I hope so. I hope so.
you have mentioned a little
That they
while.
will continue that.
Very good.
So, anyways, yeah, it is a good feeling that you know. Actually, the I always say the phrase, and Brian actually wrote it down in the book that they wrote for about the mission, and I would summarize it by saying, this mission, even if you do the medical, giving the medicines, or well, the dental, which is good, but the surgical is more of a life-changing procedure for the kids because of the cleft lip or upper palate or removal of the tumor. And the goods distribution for me is actually just temporary in the sense that you just give them a good day for one day. And I always say it's like a speck of light that we are able to give to our kababayans because their lives they're living is dark. They're in the dark. And but for the people, they really what do you call it? A yearning for like food. So that one day doing the goods distribution is like fiesta for them. And to me, it's a speck of light that I give them to those lives who are in the dark. A lot of the children even go through garbage to look for food. So when you give them something good, like even simple carne norte, they'd say, sarap lola, kasi mas masarap kaysa sa basura. That I was told to me by a girl, and I always remember that.
Okay. Talking, you were talking earlier about these places that you went to, the Maseco and the Payatas. Can you please explain to our viewing audience what these places are in the Philippines?
Okay, make it quick. Payatas is known as the Smoky Mountain. Payatas was a garbage dump, and it became so huge, like, well, it's like a mountain or mountain hill. And a lot of the people do live on the base of the garbage, or most of them would live on top of the garbage because that is their source of livelihood. They do recycling, and a lot of them just live on top of the garbage dump. So it was emitting methane, so that's why they called it Smoky Mountain. But one day it erupted and then buried a lot of people. From what I understand, 700 people were buried alive, and that is Payatas. The garbage now has been moved to Montalban, so they have cleared up that area and it's fenced. So I don't know what the project is going to be for that one. And then Baseco is actually, I really don't know the details, but it's called Bataan Shipping Engineering Company, which was started by the Marcoses. And I guess it was maybe a dockyard, a shipping, or I don't know, maybe Philippines was doing business in Asia, or maybe I was even thinking maybe that was the time they were doing something with Bataan Project. And but then when Cory Aquino came into power, she sequestered the whole area. Then eventually, when the time for former President GMA, she sequestered. I'm sorry, Cory Aquino sequestered, and then GMA took it back, and then opened up the area for our kababayans to be able to reside there. I guess I don't want to use the word squatter, but they were allowed to live there, for free. So there was an influx of a lot of people from the south, and it became a residential community. But it is now the biggest poor urban community in the Philippines, Baseco. Or they have port area and they have also Tondo. That's Baseco.
Is there some kind of a kind of a hill or mountain that they built or to live in?
No, no, Payatas, no. It was all garbage dump. That's why it became parang, hindi naman mountain, but just, a big amount, tall amount, many garbage disposals from different places. And so it became like a hillside. Now, Baseco, no, there's no mountain, or it's not a garbage dump area, but it's more residential area that it was open for the people of the Philippines to stay for free. So people came all over from the north, actually marami from Mindanao and the Visayas area.
And their daily living is by rummaging through the basura.
Yeah, the Baseco people, sorry, Payatas people, yes. That was their livelihood. They went through the garbage, and then they'll collect like plastic bottles, paper goods, that's being recycled. And of course, a lot of them, because they're hungry, they do search for food. It's leftover. So narinig mo yung, ano bang tawag doon, where they get the leftovers and then they stir fry it and then they sell it, or that's their food for the day. I forgot the term that they use, but they collect all the leftover food, like extra food from, McDonald's, Jollibee. Oops, sorry, I'm mentioning them, but something like that. I think you know the term, but anyway, so that was their livelihood.
I see. So, well, helping people like this, I'm sure really it makes a tug in your heart, and I really don't know how you could do it all these years, but must really be your humanitarian heart to be helping.
Yeah, it started many years ago, and actually, I was able to involve the kids, and we did small scale outreach, doing Hospicio de San Jose orphanage, and I took them also to some poor areas like even Tondo, and we did also Gawad Kalinga, which is in Bulacan and Parañaque, and I am proud to say that we were able to help and build 50 homes for the people dislodged from the river of Marikina. And they were transferred to Towerville, which during our time, I think it's Sapangpalay. And those things happen without plans. It just happened. I guess I was meant to go back there and do something, because I did go to Sapangpalay when I was in senior year of my nursing profession.
What
Anyway.
what tips can you give to our viewing audience, or for those people who want to follow your footsteps?
Oh no. Many times I also say, what am I doing here? When you do this charity work in the Philippines, it's like I've asked myself too, what is the government doing about this, But if you really look around, even the United States, we do encounter homeless people. So putting that aside, I just thought I will just do the best I can to be able to make a difference in someone's life. Never mind about politics, government, or whoever. That is my personal agenda with Fred and my family. And because it is a satisfying experience, it just so meaningful. I can't explain it to you, but to see a smile of a kid who was eating like the small amount of pancit we gave him, it's so hard to describe. Indescribable feeling. Happy. I'm really happy. Actually, that's why for many, many years I really don't talk about our charity project with for the most part with the other people.
Well,
I just want to do it as that we have purpose in our lives. And when we had an accident, I think something was telling me that I have to give back more because we survived and we are alive. So.
All right, very good. Dora, I know you're
Yes,
very
ma'am.
I thank you for gracing our show today. So we're running out of time. And I congratulate you for doing the good deed that you're doing for the people of our community in the Philippines. And also, I've heard that you're going to be the recipient of the Humanitarian Award in this upcoming
I don't know about that. I don't know if I will qualify. It's
Congratulations
okay.
ahead of
Reward
time.
or no reward, I will continue.
I want to tell our viewing audience that Nora was a recipient of our the Viatime Cprtv Hall of Fame twice already. And the last one she was the Woman of the Year for the Chicago Filipino Asian American Hall of Fame. All right, Nora, good luck to you and congratulations.
Thank you for your friendship. Thank you. I'll see you soon.
And more blessings for the coming years for you.
More blessings for all of us. God bless.
Thank you.
This is a prayer and a reminder. All we have is now. Anak, umuwi ka na.
Worldwide this morning, growing concern over a growing health crisis.
The World Health Organization has just declared that this is a pandemic.
Hi. I can't hug you. Don't touch me.
Over the last several days, we have seen peaceful demonstrations.
Protests over police brutality continued here in Austin.
Remember when you started going to college? You came home a liberal?
Dad, please.
That's what we do to you guys in school.
All these people that we never met and never will meet because of what had happened to them. It's just too much.
The way that our family communicates is not necessarily, it's not great.
What advice would you give for those of us that are struggling?
Deal with it.
I think the norm for our communities has been to just stay silent and keep to your own business.
I could definitely be doing more than I'm doing right now, and I know that others can as well.
What if someone is called from God to be an activist?
I can answer the question.
Shouting revolution, oh wow, breaking each tradition.
You don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement?
An advocacy group reporting at least 3,800 anti-Asian hate incidents since last March.
I'm kind of conflicted. I'm like, maybe I should move home and be here with them.
I hope that this moment makes you take a step forward and a step together in the right direction.
In order for a subject to not be taboo in our community, there always has to be someone to start that conversation.
You speak up for me when I can't speak up for myself. And I've seen you do that for other people.
I see a lot of people who just kind of cut off friends and family, and I don't think I can do that. I love my parents.
This is a symbol of our voices. If you look at your neighbors around you, you will see who stands with you, who stands for you.
At least I know that you can stand up. That's the thing I'm so happy about.
We would like to welcome all of you to Baladna Jewelry. We have a very big selection of 21 karat gold jewelry imported from the Middle East, from Dubai, Saudi, and Bahrain. And we have a very big selection of diamond. We offer free financing for 6 months, and we have a layaway system which you can leave your stuff for 3 months. We repair gold and we buy old gold. Welcome to Baladna Jewelry.
Salamat po.
Good afternoon. This is Bridget Karina Quetter bringing you this week's local news from our community. The Illinois Department of Financial and Professional Regulation, IDF-PR, announced today that 21 additional professions are now available for licensure via the department's new online licensing system, CORE, Comprehensive Online Regulatory Environment. Today's announcement marks the successful completion of CORE's Phase 2.1, with additional parts of Phase 2 set for completion in the coming weeks. The department will announce when each part of Phase 2 is completed, including which professions are added to CORE. The Illinois Conservation Foundation, ICF, is proud to announce the 2025 recipients of the Conservation Achievement Scholarship, honoring high school seniors who have demonstrated outstanding voluntary dedication to the preservation, protection, enhancement, and promotion of Illinois' natural resources. These young leaders are the future of conservation in Illinois, said Natalie Phelps-Finney, Director of the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, Director and ICF Board Chair. Their passion, initiative, and long-term commitment to protecting the outdoors inspires us all. We are also deeply grateful to the generous donors who make these scholarships possible. The Illinois Department of Labor, IDOL, has recovered more than $85,000 in unpaid wages for 17 workers that were employed on a construction project in Saline County. IDOL also recovered more than $17,000 in penalties from D&D Electric LLC. Illinois law requires that employees on publicly funded projects be paid a fair wage for their skilled work, said Illinois Department of Labor Director Jane Flanagan. Making these workers whole reflects IDOL's commitment to enforcing the Prevailing Wage Act and holding employers accountable when they violate workers' rights. Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, Illinois EPA, Acting Director James Jennings today announced a new grant program, the Gulf Hypoxia Program, GHP, Priority Watershed Implementation, offering up to $788,000 in funding for non-point source, NPS, pollution edge of field control projects to prevent, eliminate, or reduce nitrate loads to Illinois surface waters that serve as public water supply sources. Best management practices, BMPs, that are eligible for this funding include the following edge of field agricultural practices: denitrifying bioreactor, saturated buffer, constructed wetland. Illinois EPA is excited to offer a grant program that is directly connected to the Illinois Nutrient Loss Reduction Strategy, said Acting Director Jennings. Edge of field BMPs will reduce nitrate loss, improve water quality, and reduce loading to the Gulf hypoxic zone. The Illinois Commerce Commission, ICC, is encouraging the public and community organizations to join in the state's ongoing planning for a safer, more reliable power grid at a set of community workshops this June. The Climate and Equitable Jobs Act, CEJA, requires that American and ComEd, the state's largest investor-owned electric utilities, file grid plans that accelerate progress towards Illinois' clean energy goals, outline system investments, and hold the companies accountable for their performance. Both utilities are required by CEJA to conduct a robust, transparent stakeholder process in the design of their grid plan. It's not just two-legged loved ones who need a disaster preparedness plan. Four-legged, no-legged, and other pets will need assistance if there is an emergency. A survey by the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals indicated that while 83% of pet owners live in an area impacted by disasters, fewer than half have a preparedness plan. Just like for humans, we need to be prepared for disasters on behalf of our pets, said Illinois Emergency Management Agency and Office of Homeland Security, IEMA OHS, Acting Director Theodore Berger. Not only do we need to think through all the items necessary to care for pets when we are at home, we need a plan in case we are not home and need arrangements for care. For example, a recent photo of you and your pet will be key if you are separated and want to be reunited. Rescuers will want proof that your pet belongs to you. That's all for today. Thank you for watching our news this week. This is Bridget. See you next time.
Yes.